So today I'm going to tell you how to become a property sourcer and package deals for clients. I've done it 1,200 times. I think it's important to cover off the client care element as well.
If you want to become a property sourcer, or you think you already are, you need to educate yourself. I have a training course and mentorship program where we take people from total newbies, or maybe they're already doing it a little bit, and turn them into a professional property sourcer who can then source for our clients.
I'm Jess.
I'm Adam.
We are forthelandlords.com. We help landlords get more money, less hassle, and their time back. If you are a landlord and you want to start, scale, or optimize, this channel is for you. So today we're going to talk about being a property sourcer. It's the one thing I know quite a bit about.
Yeah.
It turns out that in my life, the thing that I am is a property sourcer. I'm a landlord. I'm founder of forthelandlords.com. But the thing that I've spent most of my time doing is finding houses, fixing them, renting them out, and looking after that whole thing for myself to start off with. And now as a business, that's what we do is forthelandlords.com. We are a property sourcer as well as a letting.
So we're going to tell you in this video the key things you will need if you want to become a property sourcer yourself.
I've got to say, I've bigged myself up there quite a bit. But
good job you made some notes before we started.
Over the last decade, and we've been doing this now for, is it 16, 17 years, I would say that you have become better at this than I was. So, there's more than one thing we're going to have to be talking about today. It's not just driving around, finding houses, dealing with builders, getting them rented out. And if I'm talking about what's that going to do with property sourcing, because renting things and renovating things, some sources don't do that. I believe to package a deal, you want to do the whole lot, otherwise you're going to have dissatisfied customers. But then talking to the customers, dealing with their expectations, because as a property sourcer, that's what you are. You're dealing with. You're finding clients and you're putting them on in the nicest way, a conveyor belt.
Totally.
You want a pipeline business, and you want to make sure that it goes through in a nice, predictable way. Everybody set the right expectations. They get what they thought they were going to get, and everybody's happy. And Adam's become expert at doing that.
So let's start at the beginning. If you want to become a property sourcer, or you think you already are, you need to educate yourself. You need to know the ins and outs of the property market.
Absolutely.
You need to know the price of everything, the price of all the houses in your area, what they'll rent for, how much it's going to cost to renovate them. And you need to sound like you know what you're talking about. When you're going to be pitching your service to a client, they will pick it up pretty quickly if you're just trying to wing it and repeat things you've heard in a YouTube video.
In a YouTube video.
But if you've never done this before, there's plenty of companies like ours that train people how to do this. And our training offering allows you to then go and source for our clients and earn your money back. But you need to educate yourself and know what you're talking about.
If you're a landlord already, property investor, maybe a builder, you've probably got the skill set that's there. If you aren't, you've got to go get it. You can't just wing this. You can't take a client's money, buy a house, and not have the foggiest clue about is it the right house, right area. Is it going to take £5,000 or £50,000 to renovate?
Exactly.
Is it going to rent for £500 or £2.50? You've got to know those things before you even start on this.
The next step after that is you know what you're doing, but you need relationships. First and foremost with estate agents. You want them to be bringing deals to you, that you want them to be talking you up to the vendors when you're putting an offer in. You want them to know you're reliable. You also need relationships with reliable contractors. You want to be able to price up any works that need doing on any house you source and know your costing is accurate and it's backed by a contractor who you could potentially either introduce to the client or manage that renovation with them yourself on the client's behalf. You need relationships with a good local surveyor who can provide a RIC survey, so the client's not just taking your word for it.
It'll be fast.
Really quick. All these people have got to act quickly and be the right
quickly
price.
Means tomorrow. Or at the latest.
Within a week, ideally, the report's back. You need good relationships with an insurance broker, so you can introduce your client to an insurance broker who's not going to rip them off. Mortgage brokers, they've got either a really quick acting broker to help them buy the house if they're buying it with a mortgage, or an exit strategy for getting onto a mortgage and getting their money back out after the deal. And finally, a really good local letting agent who's then going to manage, because it's not a lot of property sourcers stop at they've helped you buy the house and here's some keys and see you later. Yeah. You were saying that you need to offer the whole service, and the lettings bit, that's the long-term bit. That's what you're in it for.
Yeah. The what you've just described there, every single stage, if you haven't got solicitor, surveyor, mortgage broker, it will be a block in your pipeline of business. If you're trying to build something that just flows, you've got a predictable number of deals going through every week, month, quarter, year, then if you haven't got a surveyor, or the surveyor's too expensive, or they can't answer the right question, it will just block 10% of your deals. If your mortgage broker isn't available on speed of dial, isn't getting back to people quick enough, then your pipeline will stall. Why haven't you bought this deal yet? You was meant to go through 3 weeks ago. Oh, mortgage broker never got back to me. Well, so you need all these things flowing through. Solicitor, the same thing. You need them all to be part of your and your client's.
So you've got all these things. Now what you really need is some clients to package the deals for.
Yeah.
And that's where a lot of people fall down. They go to local networking events and they think they're going to meet clients there. Going to local networking events is all well and good, but the other people you meet, and most of the time DIY landlords who don't want to use the service like yours. They're already in your local area. So, they'll do it themselves. You need to be active on social media, really, and you need to be getting yourself out there.
Yeah, putting yourself out as a property sourcer. I think it's important to cover off the client care element as well. So I believe it's a client care matter. To make sure that all your clients, if you become a property sourcer, know they've got clear expectations of
timelines,
milestones, what's coming, but also it's not easy. Just because somebody's sourced it and there's a builder doing it.
Let me give you an example of
there's things that are
things
going,
like
things
exactly
are going to go off plan.
Example for you. So you need to make your client aware that when they sell it complete on the house and it becomes theirs, they're going to have to spend an hour on hold to the energy company and the council getting those things set up in their name. You can't do it for them. You can't set up a direct debit on their behalf. So they're going to have to do that, and they have to do it quickly because your contractor is going to need the power and the gas on and stuff. So that little thing, they set an expectation on how long it's going to take to get the house bought. And make sure that the client sticks to that too.
Yeah. So it's your reputation on the line because you've
with the agent.
Property with the agent. Yeah. Your client needs to act quickly. There's a whole other half of the transaction that's completely outside of your control. The vendor. Deals can fall out of bed.
Yeah, they can.
A vendor can decide they don't want to sell it.
So you need to be pushing the sale progression along as best you can through the agent on that side and with your client on that one. Set a really realistic expectation on how long any renovation work's going to take. Don't just tell them it'll be wrapped up within a few weeks and you'll get a tenant in there. Be realistic.
Talk about contingency as well, or set a good contingency on
so if you've sourced a deal for a client, in fact, what we haven't touched upon is you've sourced a deal and you've proven to the client there's solid comparables, what it's going to be worth, what it's going to rent for, and how much they're going to need to spend on it. Yeah, it's always realistic that something else is going to crop up during the renovation that isn't in that plan. Yeah, it's going to be roof works, damp works, maybe something small.
You can't check, you can't pick up on a survey, something that you think looks okay, but actually on testing,
it might even be a little electrical upgrade somewhere as well.
Yeah, so always keep on a typical renovation. We put aside about £3,000 roughly. So if the boiler breaks or you need a little bit of extra roof work or electrical work. If you do a good survey, there shouldn't be any huge surprises. So £3,000 should cover it. I think it's essential that you look after the lettings piece as well. I think as a property sourcer, and I know this would be unpopular because lots of property sourcers like to source a property over to you and they say, no, it'll rent out for £500, maybe it will, but the renovation will cost £10,000. But actually when you get the keys, the builder's number they gave you, they're not answering the phone. But by the time you're left to deal with the whole renovation, it costs you double what the sourcer said, and you can't find a letting agent anywhere near to touch it in that area. I think personally, the person who sources your property should, if there is a renovation, commit to renovating it under a contract, overseeing it, not with their own paintbrush, not project managing, but under a contract, so they get the job done, and then they should rent it. It's called buy to let for a reason.
Yeah.
It's not buy to sit it there and hope it gets like
Totally.
let. So we would always say a property sourcer is responsible for making sure it's rented. That's when the job is over.
All right.
That's my opinion. I think that's what a good property sourcer should do.
Anything else?
I don't think so. Have you got any
if
things you're going
you
to give away?
Yeah, I mean, if you are interested in becoming a property sourcer yourself, or if you're interested in using a property sourcer, we can help you. I have a training course and mentorship program where we take people from total newbies, or maybe they're already doing it a little bit, and turn them into a professional property sourcer who can then source for our clients. Or we have a done for you service and we'll go out and source your next property for you. There's a link down there in the description. Book a call with me and I can tell you a bit more about how that works.
Very good. It's a fun way to make a living. I did it for many years, and it's fun. I enjoy it. If you like bricks and mortar, become a property sourcer. It's fun. Yeah,
Rhymed.
Did it?
Yeah, more or less. Anyway,
if that was useful, if you liked the video, please like the video. If you like the channel and you want to keep more of it coming, subscribe. And if you click the notification bell, every time we drop a new video, you'll get notified, however you want to choose to get notified. So thanks very much for watching.
Thank you.
Spread the word. Send a link to your friends. Say, these guys, they know what they're talking about. And let's help the channel grow, reach more landlords. Thanks for watching.